Dan, what do you say to Médecins Sans Frontières' accusations that you're funding pharmaceutical companies?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. They're part of our alliance. It's a broad alliance, and actually it's the tension between the partners that make Gavi Alliance so successful. So we welcome their criticism, we welcome their engagement, and we welcome their interest in the mission, which is to save children's lives.
But you think it's all rubbish?
Of course it's rubbish. What we're trying to do is to get the best prices for the vaccines that we buy, so that children in the world's poorest countries can be immunized against life-threatening diseases. That's what we're trying to do. What we need all our members to work with us and work towards the goal is to ensure that we can get the best vaccines, the vaccines that are available to children in rich countries, to children in the world's poorest countries at an affordable price. And that's why we engage with vaccine manufacturers. That's why we engage with MSF and other NGOs that are working to put pressure on vaccine manufacturers to lower prices. And we welcome their engagement, and we welcome the pressure that we can put on vaccine manufacturers to give us the lowest prices.
I think, this is stacked definitely in favour of the pharma companies, yeah? They're getting marketing, they're getting access to new markets that are very exciting, they're charging for the vaccines anyway, and you're adding on top a £900 million subsidy through the AMC. I don't understand.
No, that's rubbish. Let me set you straight. Before the Gavi Alliance came along, the vaccine manufacturers were not interested in the market, which is now available to them. It was the Gavi Alliance that pooled the demand from 72 of the world's poorest countries and went to the vaccine manufacturers and asked them to produce the vaccines so that we can immunize children in those countries against life-threatening diseases with the best vaccines available in the world. At that time, the vaccine manufacturers were providing those vaccines to children in the world's richest countries, and they were doing that very happily and making good profits. What we've done is we've gone to them and said, look, we don't have that kind of money, but what we do have is a lot of children that need protection against diseases, and we would like to offer you the opportunity to participate in that market. And by creating some incentives, by presenting them with a large and viable market, we have engaged those manufacturers to the point that they are willing and able to provide vaccines at a vastly reduced price. And that is the way that we've managed to shape the markets in order to get the best possible prices and to ensure that children have the best vaccines on the market.
Dan, how many people in your company, 120 people, how many of them used to work at pharmaceutical companies?
That's a good question. I think we have
It's
about...
a good question. And how many pharmaceutical companies on your board?
And it's a fair question, which I'll answer if you'll let me. We have about half a dozen colleagues within 120 secretariat staff who have experience working in the vaccine manufacturing business. And the reason we have those people is we need that information, we need that knowledge, we need their experience. These are the guys that help us shape the markets, help us deal with vaccine manufacturers. We have other colleagues who have experience of rolling out these vaccines, dealing with governments, dealing with donors. We need all kinds of experience to do the work that we do. Regarding our board, it's another good question. Again, Gavi is a very broad church. We have on our board, we have our donors, the people that give us the money to immunize children. We have vaccine manufacturers, the organizations, the companies, if you like, that produce the vaccines. We have MSF, we have NGOs, we have all kinds of people. It's a broad church, including the developing countries in which we...
money are the pharma companies. Doesn't sound very fair.
Well, it's perfectly fair. This is a business after all. We're not trying to encourage these companies. They are companies to give these vaccines away. That wouldn't be viable. These companies, they need funding in order to provide the vaccines that we want to buy and that our donors want to provide children in the developing world.
Okay, I'm going to have to wrap it up there, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.